Welcome back to the barbershop, everybody. Fitting seeing as how it's a Wednesday. But anyway, $10 lineups for five and unders. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to y'all real quick because I saw over there on the Bird app, which it's sometimes you really got to step outside of the box. Like, I know I've been saying this forever, but literally, like, every interaction on Twitter is toxic to some and stuff. Like it really does breed sociopathic behavior over there. Like it's just so wild to me how crazy niggas talk. You understand what I'm saying? And I genuinely believe that this just comes from a debilitating shortage in the ass whooping supply. You know what I mean? We are in high demand, short supply of stomping niggas for talking sideways. But anyway, so for those of y'all who don't know, and on the main channel, I did a video that was it wasn't about this, but tangentially it was kind of related. I did bring up, because I mean, she is like the biggest star in that league right now, so I was going to have to bring her up. So for those of y'all who don't know, Caitlin Clark, right? We all know who Caitlin Clark is by now. We all know the drama that's been around her basically since her and Angel squared up in the national title game a few years ago. We all know what it is. You feel me? It's old news now. Well, anyway, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. Caitlin has come out and has acknowledged her what do you call it, her, I don't want to say position, but acknowledged the fact that she is privileged by her whiteness in a way that, her black peers are not in that league. Which, okay, clap it up for Caitlin. You understand what I'm saying? But more interesting to me is the fact that she's called out, all of those, but not in so many words. She called out all of those Trump humping boat truckers. You understand what I'm saying? Who decided to turn her into an avatar for, their own bitch assness. You understand what I'm saying? And basically called them out and said, that y'all are the problem. You feel me? With the WNBA today. You feel me? And it's interesting because now all of the cousin humpers, now they're turning on her. You understand what I'm saying? Now Caitlin is the worst thing to happen to white America since O.J. Simpson. You understand what I'm saying? Because of, because of Caitlin just, reading these mofos for filth and calling them down on the carpet for it. You understand what I'm saying? Saying what we've all been saying for the longest time, just saying it out loud where everybody can see and can hear it. And she's also gone on to say, that she's not, and I said this before, that if you actually, now I'm not going to sit here and cap like I'm a hardcore WNBA fan, but I do watch the games, I do follow, I am a very casual, just based on the fact that I'm not going to lie, I prefer the WNBA's style of play to the NBA. You understand? And I've talked about this before, how, the WNBA, the way that the ladies play the game is a lot closer to what I grew up watching, you feel me, in the early to mid 2000s. You could even go so far as to say it's a lot closer to what it was in the 80s. You understand? It's a much more physical, it's a slower paced game. You feel me? And it's a much more physical game. You understand what I'm saying? Than what the modern NBA is. And honest to God, that's why a lot of people, you feel me, as bad as NFL fandom is, NBA fandom is leagues worse because of all of the casuals. And listen to what I'm saying here. Ain't nothing wrong with casuals in a vacuum. You need casuals. But the problem is when casuals, you understand what I'm saying, come in and decide that they are the authority. You understand what I'm saying? Casuals come in and they decide that they know the game better than, you feel me, niggas who've been following it for literal decades, right? And that's basically what we had with the WNBA. You know, you get I'm not even gonna call their names out because they ain't worthy of it, but you got niggas, you know, making these, you know, hour and 2 hour long, you know, video essays worth of mouth diarrhea explaining why, you know, every player in the league is targeting Caitlyn, you know, with these hard fouls and whatever, when it's like, bitch, if you ever watched a dub, that's how they play. You understand what I'm saying? Get your weight up. It's as simple as that. It's get your weight up. But you don't know that because you ain't start watching the shit until the white girl, you understand what I'm saying, got popular enough to become an avatar for y'all. You dig? And I say all of that to make this point. That Caitlyn it reminds me a lot of the criticisms that I had about Drake, right? And I'm not the first person, I'm not the only one to say this about Drake. And that's why I say that Caitlyn and Drake are opposite sides of the same coin. You feel me? In how they have handled these situations. Because, again, I'm not the first person to say this, but Drake, you know what Drake is? Drake is an avatar. Somebody put it like this, and they put it perfectly. I forget who has said it, but they said that, you know, Drake is the perfect rapper for people who don't like rap. You understand what I'm saying? Even better than Eminem. You understand what I'm saying? Drake, because Eminem, personally, you feel me, I'm not a big Eminem fan, but I'm not going to sit here and let you know, Eminem is of the culture. Eminem is hip hop to the core. You understand what I'm saying? I've said this before, is that if Eminem weren't white, if Eminem were black, he would be cannabis. And that's not, and any of y'all who know hip hop, you know, again, all of the, you know, the Trump Humpers in the audience, all of, you know, the middle class white boys, you understand what I'm saying, who can't identify a soul sample if you gave them the track to listen to beforehand, are going to, you know, have a problem with that. But anybody who knows hip hop and knows hip hop for real know that when I compare you to cannabis, that's not an insult. You feel me? Just because the nigga, you understand what I'm saying, don't got a bunch of, you know, top 10 hits or whatever, cannabis can spit. You know, he may be spitting a lot of nonsense most of the time, like your boy Marshall, but he can spit. You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, there was a point where cannabis was supposed to be next up, or at least he was in the running, he was in consideration for being, you know, next up. But anyway, I digress. Drake makes rap palatable for pop purveyors, for pop listeners. You understand what I'm saying? And more so than that, he is a perfect avatar for those people who, you know, love everything about black people except black people. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep it a buck for all of the niggas that wish they had been born black, that wish they could be black without all of the, you know, you understand what I'm saying, the systemic, you know, whatever and whatnot that comes with blackness. You understand what I'm saying? They want that, and I keep coming back to this quote from Foreign Man. They want that ineffable coolness of black masculinity, whether it is to be that or whether it is to be with that. That's what they want. You understand what I'm saying? But they just don't want, you know, the whole getting shot in the face for, you know, driving with a taillight out. They don't want that part. You understand what I'm saying? So Caitlyn, and I've talked about this before, is, you know, there is this thing where y'all know what the Great White Hope is, right? I don't really gotta explain what a Great White Hope is. You feel me? So that's what Caitlyn was for a lot of these people. Is she was their Great White Hope. You understand what I'm saying? And so long as she didn't acknowledge the quiet part, they ain't have to acknowledge that either. But now that she has, now, you understand what I'm saying? Instead of taking her advice, you feel me? Now they're taking it as a shot. They're taking it as an attack, because truthfully, honestly, it is. You know, like my grandfather used to say, God rest his soul and what have you. But like my grandfather used to say, if you throw a brick at a pack of dogs, the one that hollers, the one that got hit. And that's what you're saying, man. And so my thing is I don't know what, if anything, this is going to do insofar as you know, the whole culture around the WNBA, because it has changed. Again, like I said, a bunch of people who weren't invited to the cookout to begin with, you know, decided to just show up, and on top of that decided that they was gonna man the grill and started throwing a bunch of shit on it, like nigga, I don't know what y'all be eating at y'all cookouts, but nothing that we eat over here. And then decided that, oh no, this is the way that it's always been. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, there you have that, man. And I don't want to give too much away, because I'm going to talk about this more so in the joint on the main channel that's coming up toward the end of this month. Merry Christmas, niggas. You feel me? Don't be ungrateful. So Drake, part of the reason why, you know, people like me have such an issue with Drake, and this isn't the only reason why, but part of the reason why is that Drake is no dummy. You understand what I'm saying? There is, and this is part of the reason why I say hip hop culture, as far as, you know, hip hop culture, as far as, you know, people like me, you know, 30 and older, understand it, is effectively dead. I'm not necessarily saying that that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's what it is. It's dead. You feel me? Drake being, you know, Drake having, you know, the what do you call it? The platform or the notoriety that he's had for the past decade plus. You understand what I'm saying? He could have, you know, planted his flag in the ground. You know what Drake could have done, without getting into all of the you know, the extrapolating and whatever and whatnot. Drake could have been J. Cole on a larger scale, and with, honest to God, much more impact than what J. Cole has. He could have been that, but he chose not to be that, explicitly because he didn't want to mess up his marketability. Again, Drake is no dummy. You understand what I'm saying? But Drake's whole identity is in his mass appeal. You understand what I'm saying? And by planting his flag in the ground the way that Caitlyn has, you understand what I'm saying? He would have messed that up, and he knew that. You understand what I'm saying? So instead, he chose not to. He chose not to, and that's why we say that he's not of the culture. It don't got nothing to do with him having a white mama. It don't got nothing to do with him not even being, you know, raised around black people. It don't got nothing to do with him being, you know, Canadian. Nothing to do with that. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the simple fact that when planting his foot in the ground was inconvenient to his bag, he chose not to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And what y'all see is happening now with Caitlyn, that's why he didn't do it. So again, I'm not going to sit here, you know, and beat the nigga over the head, because I get it. I understand. And I understood why Caitlyn, even if I didn't agree with it, I understood why she took so long to say the quiet part out loud. You understand what I'm saying? I personally don't think it's fair to always expect somebody, because she ain't, you understand what I'm saying? She is an indirect object in this whole situation. She didn't make herself into the great white hope. You understand what I'm saying? These lame niggas did. Lame niggas and niggettes did. She didn't do that to herself. So I don't blame her for staying silent, because it's not a problem. It's not an issue of her own creation. I mean, would I personally have preferred for her to acknowledge it earlier than what she did? Almost definitely. But I'm not mad at her for not doing it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that it's fair that so many people did, to keep it a buck, right? But now that she has, and you see the fallout from that, now y'all begin to understand why she didn't, right? And furthermore, we understand why Drake did. Now again, it's a whole different dynamic when you're talking about, you know, hip hop and basketball. Women's basketball, even more so. It's a whole different dynamic, but just sticking with the basics. It's two sides of the same coin and two different responses, two different reactions to the predicament that they found themselves in. And we see that both approaches come with a cost. You understand what I'm saying? Caitlyn's approach, you understand what I'm saying? It cost her a significant portion of her fan base. Now she's going to have to endure, you feel me, the wrath of all of them mofos who said they was down but really wasn't down. Now she's going to have to put up with that. You understand what I'm saying? Drake, on the other hand, you dig, he's always going to have that contingent of, you know, let's just keep it a buck, fuck boys and fuck girls for that matter. You know, all of those, you know, let's just keep it a buck. People lacking of identity, people lacking of their own personality, so they just latch on to, you know, whatever is popping at the time, whatever is popular at the time, and then they make that their identity. I'm not saying that if you listen to Drake, it means that you have no personality, but I'm saying if you make Drake, if you make Stanhood, period, your entire personality, you might need some therapy, bucko. But Drake especially, you feel me? If you make being, you know, an OV hoe your entire identity, or the bulk of it, you understand what I'm saying? Something tells me you probably got stuffed in lockers as a kid. I'm just being real. You understand? Something tells me that, you feel me, you probably ain't get invited to the party, you feel me, where everybody was making out and, you know, trying brown liquor for the first time. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just telling you, You feel me? You might have been that kid that, you know, I don't know, nice guy TM or whatever or whatnot. Cause listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Some kids that get bullied, they get bullied not because the bully is an asshole, but you know, you an asshole too, and that's why you get. You might have been that kid, right? The kid who got bullied for being a dickhead. That might have been you. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to tell y'all the truth, man. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. But you know, there's consequences and repercussions for every decision, for every action. You feel me? There is a reaction. You understand what I'm saying? And the consequence for Drake is that, you know, Drake is never going to be, you know, later for the hits, later for the charts, later for any of that. He's never going to be acknowledged, you feel me, by the culture the way that he probably feels like he should, because whenever the choice became between the culture and commodification, when it became between, you know, the culture and his own mass appeal, you feel me? Listen, I'm not saying that it's fair. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm just telling y'all how it works. You can't have, you feel me, your cake and eat it too. That's just the way that's the way of the world and all of that. Earth, wind, and fire. You feel me? So yeah, there you have it. Caitlin Clark and that nigga Aubrey are two different sides of the same coin, if you ask me. Deuces.